Alrighty, hello everybody. I'm Jonathan with the Balloon Guild, and I am here with a couple of the Gemar power ladies, the Gemar superstars. I will let them introduce themselves, and then we can get the conversation going.
Hi, my name is Karen Soto. I am the marketing coordinator for Gemar USA, and I'm very excited about being here.
Hello, guys. I'm Daniela, the social media manager, the person behind the scenes of the social and the content creator. We are real excited to be here. We never have done this before, right?
No, this is our first time, so we're super excited.
We are so
Sure.
excited.
Okay, so and just so for those of you who are watching, maybe they missed it, we have already done a really amazing interview with you guys where you took us behind scenes on the plant and the process and how you guys do stuff. I believe we talked about the history of Jamar, and I mean, to me, it was a cool conversation. But we have that on the Balloon Guild website now. And then this one is going to be a little bit less formal because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm going to an event like Float or Balloon Boss or something like that, are you ladies the ones that we're going to run into most of the time?
Probably, very probably, we're gonna be one of the ones you're gonna be running into. So, hello.
You can see me as the paparazzi of the balloon artist
Exactly,
with
and
the
I will be
camera, with the
there,
phone.
and I will be there trying to make your friend.
Sure. Yeah, so that's kind of the point of this is so that when people run into you, um, they're going to already have they're gonna they'll probably forget where, but they're gonna be like, where do I know you from, or where have I seen you, or whatever, and then you can tell them probably the Balloon Guild, and now you can have something to start a conversation. Um, these are recorded. We usually do them in the middle of a workday, so sometimes we don't have like a huge crowd or turnout on the live part, but we do have them recorded and they'll be on our website for all time. So if you tell me all your secrets, everybody's going to know them eventually.
Go.
So,
Okay, you go ahead.
Miss Karen, let's start with you. Um, how did you get to be with Jamar?
Well, it was a very nice ad on internet, and I decided to answer to it. They were looking for someone with marketing experience, and I do have a marketing experience, and I didn't know what the job was about. But once I got into it, I am just loving into the whole world of balloons. I'm loving it.
Okay, so we didn't freak you out when you went to your first convention and just saw balloons all over the dang place?
I haven't been to a convention just yet.
Okay,
I'm still brand new.
yeah. Um, so marketing experience, did you go to college for marketing?
Yes, I did. I went to college for mass communication. I have a degree in mass communication, and I've been working in marketing for more than 20 years in different
Oh, wow.
experiences, like different kind of things, mostly TV, so entertainment in general, never
Okay, cool.
balloons.
I will come back to that because I'm very interested to pursue. And then how do you say your name? I'm very sorry. I just don't want to get it wrong. Miss Danila?
Daniela? Yes.
Daniela. Okay. Um,
Daniela.
how did you get to be with Jamar?
Well, I found Gemar at Indeed. There is a web page, and once I see that they need a marketing, a social media manager, I apply to it.
Okay. And have you done social media for other companies before?
Yes, I have 7 years of experience managing different
Okay.
brands. Never like balloons, but yes, entertainment brands.
Okay. So you guys were both in and around like event industry, but not balloon specific. What do
Yeah.
you,
But I think that this
go ahead.
no, I think that this space, the balloon world, it's incredible.
It's probably easy to market because it's so visual, right? Like, I don't want to say your job's easy. I didn't mean it to sound that way. I just mean it's a very visual job. So finding like great photographs to use, and plus you guys are with Gemar, so you're around, like you're not just around balloons, you're like swimming in balloons every day probably. Um,
Yes,
We are.
people full of energy.
so you guys,
Good energy.
yeah. And you're located in the Miami area, am I correct?
Yes, we are.
And how does is my do you guys just have an office? Like are balloons literally around you all the time, or do you guys have to bring them in to do stuff, or is Miami like a hub to get from I forget where you said, Jamar. Is it Italy where they're made?
Yes, they are made in Italy, and we do have an office, but we also have a warehouse behind us. So we do have the experience to have a normal office experience, but we also have all the balloons behind us. And we also work with some companies that, like, for example, we have our own offices, our own stores, so we know how to handle some balloons real near to us.
Okay, what is the hardest thing that you have found? Because you guys know how to use balloons now, right? I assume you've actually blown up columns and arches. And have you got the itch where you just go home? Here's the real question. Have you had a balloon dream where you wake up and you had a dream about balloons?
Yes, for me before any convention.
Oh, okay. How about you, Miss Karen?
Yes, I have had some balloon dreams. They are good ones. The
Yeah,
only thing that I can say.
when I hire a new person, it's usually a couple months, but they'll come in with this weird look. They're like, I dreamt about balloons last night. And I'm like, it's happening. You're one of us now. I just think it's kind of funny when people start dreaming about balloons. So do you guys like building stuff? What's your favorite part about working with Gemar?
My favorite part is the sense of family. Gemar is a very family company. It's a company that was created in Italy, as we have already established, but they also bring that to home. And here we all are part of a family. As I mean, we are like workers, but we're also part of a family. We also have like we eat together at least once a week or something like that. We have this big table and we enjoy food together, and that's a part of one of the things that I love about this being part of this company.
The sense of family. That is the most essential part here.
Okay, so a lot of these interviews are with other people who are owning their own balloon company. So I like to find like common ground or something where they've gone through stuff or they find something that I think maybe will work for other people, maybe not. Um, so with regards to creating a family dynamic, is that something that you think would be beneficial to a balloon company? Do you think it would be maybe, I don't want to say detrimental, but I've heard conversations on both sides of this topic as far as employees, they're not your friends, they're not your family. And then I've also I like the idea of a family atmosphere.
I just have this experience, but I will say that 100% I think that it's beneficial.
Okay. Makes it hard when it's time to fire somebody if you feel like
I
I'm with Karen.
That's the thing. Once you are part of a family, you don't want to be fired. I mean, if you have to leave, you will say it like in nice ways, or you will find your way out. It's not like a regular firing. It's like part of a family. Once you need to get out for some reason, you will find your way in a very nice way. So I think that that's important to consider once you're part of a family.
Okay. So speaking of family, are you guys married? Do you have children, spouses? What's your family dynamic?
No children here, no married. I mean,
We're
I was married once, but not anymore. Long time
Okay.
ago.
we're a single woman.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
No married, no kids,
All right. So you have a little bit
no
of
ring.
time and freedom.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So, and you said you haven't been to a balloon convention yet? How long have you worked for Jamar, Miss Karen?
No, no, me, I'm very new. I'm very new. I just started in at the beginning of February, so I'm new.
Oh, okay.
So
So
you have
yes,
two months,
super.
3 months?
No, no, 3 months already. Yes, but I already feel that I've been here all
Yes.
my life.
Like,
Like they have embraced me in a way that I feel that I've been here for my whole life.
that's
Sure.
Gemar, seriously.
What is the most what's the thing about balloons that maybe just made you think, wow, I never would have thought, or I mean most people don't think about balloons, but when you started with the job 3 months in, what's been the most surprising part?
Every time that I see one of these scenes when they create like these forms, like perfect, like I don't know, dolls or things like that, that they are out of this world, or a motorcycle or something like that. And this, like, oh my God, this is made out of balloons. I cannot believe it. And I've been so proud about that, that I've been showing it to my friends, to my family, to everybody that I know of. Like, it's like I'm so happy that I've been into this world. Uh, so I just feel very excited about it. Like it's like I feel proud. That's the word, proud.
How about for you, Daniela?
Yeah, for me, of course, the conventions. Because I never saw more energetic and passionate people than there. There are people that really love do balloons, that really love do crazy things, and it's incredible.
My wife, when she went to the first convention, she's like, I think I get it now. Everybody here is like you. So
Yes.
now, like, you're
Yeah,
always
I
like
got it.
bouncing off the walls, a little slightly scatterbrained, but all over the place, but high energy. She's like, everybody here is like that. Like, that's who balloon people are, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that I worked here 6 months before I go to my first convention. And when I go to my first convention, I really understand what is this world. Like, I really understand what the people are in, why the people are in.
Sure. So when you get hired by Jamar, do they did you go through any kind of like balloon training? I know you have to learn about the product, I assume, right? Like that, I would think that's part of your job. And you can correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know what your job is. I don't do it. But um, did you have to go through this is how we use these balloons? Did you have to learn to build an arch or a column or any of that stuff?
I mean, it wasn't like per se called a training, but we did really got a lot of information about balloons. Like Mrs. Maria, she talked to us like a lot about balloons, like in all ways of balloons, like, and she still does it every day. So I think it's a ongoing training, I would say. It's not only a training that happened once, it's a training that goes every day.
Yes, that's correct. I have like 2 3 months knowing more about the balloons, like, oh, this is that color, because sometimes on social media the people say, oh, what is that color, or what is the color inside. So I have to know about the balloon. So I have that type of teach.
Sure. So with regards to social media, I mean, like I'm middle-aged dude, middle-aged guy who I had Facebook and I was going to get rid of it a long time ago. And then I had like a 10-minute long chat with a friend that I hadn't seen in forever. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll keep it for that. But now I use it for business. The Instagrams I'm trying to use a little bit more. What's the hardest part about working with social media, or what tips would you have for, um, business owners who are just trying to use social media to their advantage?
Maybe the hardest part is like to connect with the community, know how to connect, and know how to say how to what they they are talking in the balloon world. So I think that is the hardest part. But one tip of that of social media is to be real, to connect with the community, try to talk their language, and try to know the most, so you can show what they are interested in, or know what you think that they are interested for me. I
Okay.
don't know for you.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And do you use social media also, Miss Karen?
Yes, I do, but she is the master here, so I wanted her to answer that question because she is our master in social media. So
Yeah.
that answer was amazing.
It's it's one of those where I feel like I can do good for a while, and then I've been hit a string of like 2 weeks or more where I'm just insanely busy, and then realize I haven't posted anything in an entire month. And that's, I know you have to post on somewhat of a regular basis to make it work to your advantage, but that's and I know you can also like schedule them. Do you schedule posts and stuff as well, or
Yeah, we have the calendar content that we made like 2 weeks before the months start. Like we saw all the days that we have, the festive days that we have on the month, or what we want to do, and we put everything in a calendar. Like, okay, and on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to post on Monday on Instagram, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on something on Facebook, and the and that's the way that we create the content.
okay. Are both of you ladies from the Miami area? Did you have to move for this job, or were you already there in town-ish?
I mean, I'm originally from Venezuela, but I've been living in Miami for 20 years. I used to live in New York. I lived there for 5 years before. So, yeah, I didn't have to move for this job. I was already here.
Yes, I was already here too.
Okay, so you went from Venezuela to New York. Is that how that went down?
Yes, that's how it worked.
What part of New
I went
York?
from Venezuela to New York and then I went to Brooklyn first and then Manhattan.
Nice.
Okay, so that was probably a pretty big culture change, I assume. I don't know what part of Venezuela it is, or I
Yes,
don't
it
know.
was. It was, but before that, I used to live in Finland for a year. So
Finland?
it's okay. I can handle these kind of things.
So you lived in Finland also?
Yes,
I don't even know
yes.
what's in Finland. Like, were you moving for
Okay.
jobs, or you just want to see like every
No,
part of
no,
the
in
world?
Finland, I went just as an exchange student. As an exchange student, I mean, I moved there for a year to find just a different kind of culture. I did it for a year and it was nice. And then I moved back to Caracas, and then I moved to New York, and then I moved to Miami.
Okay, so you just like the big cities? Is that what it is?
Yes, that's the thing. I like big cities. I do.
Okay. Okay. So, Miss Danielle, did you go to college? Do you have any specific training in social media? And I don't want that to sound bad, but I mean, like, I'm just asking, do you have special training that you did for that you're using in your position?
Yeah, absolutely. I have 2 years in a course that is specific for social media management, and then I have 5 years of the college in a marketing manager in general. But then I
Okay,
saw I saw a course that is specifically for marketing manager, social media.
sure. So a lot of people end up going to college and they don't like most of the people that I interview didn't go to school for balloons. Like, in fact, I would say 100% of them. There was not like a school for balloons. They all ended up getting into it some way, shape, or form. But you ladies went to school for it. Is this what you wanted to do like most of your life, or what caused you to want to be in this industry?
Being in marketing is amazing. You always have the opportunity to find like a new life with a new product. So every time that you change, let's say, a, a marketing place, like a different brand, you find a new life. So in this case, I'm living the life of someone that works in balloons, and it's amazing, and I love it. So that's what I like the most about being in marketing, and something that I wouldn't change for the world.
Okay, Danielle, how about for you?
For me, well, as a kid, I want to be a singer, and I never learned how to sing, so I choose marketing. But
Okay,
yes, of course, I love marketing. There's so much ramas,
Yeah, different
ramification,
branch.
different range that you can choose. Like you can choose social media, you can choose advertising, you can choose public relationships. So that's I think that it's so interesting because you study marketing, but you can choose whatever you want in the range.
what's the craziest thing that you ever were paid to market?
That we ever what? Excuse
Did
me?
you ever, were you ever handed a product that you had to market that you were just like, oh my goodness, I don't like, what's the craziest thing that you ever marketed for a company?
Well, different things comes to mind. Once I had to do a voiceover for these cars that you use to call home. You know, when people is in Cuba or things like that, that it was called Chulita phone card, and I had to do the voiceover for that voice for that, and I did the whole thing, and it was very crazy. Chulita phone card, so now tú puedes llamar a Venezuela o puedes llamar a Cuba, and things like that. It was very crazy. The other one was for Copa America Centenario that I did for MasterCard. That it was crazy because it was so huge that it was crazy that I was handling 11 countries at the same time. So that's what I can say.
Oh, dang. How about you, Daniela?
I'm still thinking, but but I think that maybe we start from the scratch, something like DoorDash, and it was very difficult because in that time in my country, I'm from Ecuador, the there is not security. There is not like a there's not too much security, so it was a hard work to try the people uh, con,
To
have
get
confidence
confidence.
in the brand. And we start from the scratch, so we have to do all the things of the marketing, the social media, and I think that was one of the hardest.
How long have you been in the States? Did you live in Ecuador? Sounds like you grew up there.
Yeah, I'm here. I have 3 years.
Okay. And what caused you to want to move here?
My resident. I have to renovate my residence, so I come here and then I try to look for a work and I find Gemar. Now I'm here, so happy.
Okay. So this is your first job in the States was with Jamar?
This is my third job, but the two first ones were with my dad, so that's no
Okay,
like I count with.
sure. Yeah. So I know, and I'm not gonna ask, I don't really care like how old you ladies are. When I was a kid, which was 40 forevers ago, um, I'm asking this because you said like Ecuador, there's not a lot of security. Like when I was a kid, we just ran around in the streets playing anywhere we wanted until it got too dark to see, and then we came home. Um, I don't let that
Yeah,
happen with my kids today. There's no way that's going down.
I'm sure you can to do
Yeah,
Um,
that.
now in that time,
Yes.
but what was like childhood for you guys? I'm just curious about people who live in different parts of the world and like what it's like growing up in different areas.
Well, my parents were always working. My parents are both doctors, and they were always like out of home trying to save people. And we were mostly at the home. We didn't have much of an outside experience. We were mostly at the home with someone that was taking care of us. So that was it for me. So a lot of TV, I would say,
Oh, okay.
to be honest.
and for me, I think that I live with a lot of my family. Like in we always be with the family, with the aunts, with my mom, dad, with everybody in one home doing anything, playing, and I think that that's most that I remember to always be with all my family.
So are you saying like grandma, grandpa lived with you also, or you just have a big old lots of brothers and sisters and all that?
Yeah, I have my grandma and a my mom and a stepdad because my dad comes here like 15 years ago and I were with my mom and a stepdad.
Okay, but I mean growing up, because you said you were always doing stuff with your family. Um, did you grow up where,
Oh yes, it's because my home were here and my grandparents' home were there and my uncle's home. It's like everybody live in the same place.
yeah, I like the idea of family sticking together. Um, there's just something about it, and there's something about the idea that you get to see your kids and depending on how blessed you are to live their children too, and to be a part of um, like so many people's lives in such a really important, impactful way. But now it seems like people split and go everywhere. And I don't know if it's because connecting through the phone seems to make it easier to connect and it's really not the same, or just people want to be super independent. But I like the idea of family being close.
Me too, me
Yeah,
too.
for kids it's incredible. I really play with all my yes
Oh, my childhood.
all my childhood with my with my family. So that's incredible.
Okay.
We have a
So
lot
did
of
you guys play outside very much? I'm just coming back to the thing you said about security. Like, is Ecuador a dangerous place, or are you just saying you just have to be a little bit more mindful?
yes, since like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, Ecuador was a very insecure place. After that, no, because we have a different president, but some things happens, and yes, now it's so insecure.
Okay. Well, cool. So, Miss Karen, you said your parents were doctors, like surgery types
Yes.
or general practitioners?
Dad is a surgeon. My mom is a gynecologist.
Okay.
OB.
Did they want you to be a doctor growing up? Was that a thing that you ever?
No, actually, they didn't want me to be one. I wanted at one point, but they didn't. They didn't want it. They say that it wasn't something for girls.
Something for girls? Is that what?
Yes, exactly. It
I
was
mean, your
like
mom's
that.
a
It's
girl,
Latin
right?
America. You have to understand.
Okay.
Yes, you have to understand. It's Latin America.
Yeah, but your mom was a girl. So,
Yeah, she did it. She did it, but she didn't really work at that much. She
okay.
was just a doctor, but she didn't really work as a doctor that much.
But
But my dad did.
you told us that you already work in one of the
Oh
ranches.
yes, but I did afterwards. I am a CNA also.
Oh, okay.
Afterwards, I decided I wanted to do something related to medicine. So I got my CNA license and I have worked here in Miami at the Baptist Hospital, for example, as a CNA.
Okay.
And I was considering being a nurse per se, but the exam seems so difficult that I don't know if I can pass it. It really seems out of this world to me.
So then when did you decide that marketing and sales was the thing that you wanted to go into? Like what shifted for you?
What shifted for me? No, no, no. Like, I think like the real story comes very back home once they were some kind of situation. It was a political situation back home in Venezuela where people were stealing food and things from the streets. So I remember that I saw on TV these journalists like seeing everything and coming after people and everything and interviewing them. And I decided that I wanted to be a journalist. And that's how I got into mass communications. And then from mass communications, and I started my career as a journalist. Then I ended up being into marketing because I don't know, life takes you to one thing from another. So yes, I like TV. So I started on TV, and then yes, that's how
So
I ended
were
up
you
here.
were you rocking a microphone on TV? Is that what you mean by journalist? Like,
I used to do that. I used to do that.
okay. What kind of stuff did you like reporting on? Did you have, and I don't know how that works either. Are there specific like
Okay,
I'm
I started reporting things that were very serious, like things on the streets and people like in hunger or people that were sick and things like that. Basically, my two things were education and health. So those were my two things. And after that, I ended up doing entertainment and I ended up like asking things about how they were doing inside of a party. So, and asking people like singers and stuff about their concert and things like that. So, it
oh,
have been a
okay.
career.
Who's the most famous person that you ever talked to?
I would say Nelly Furtado probably.
Oh, okay. My wife has one of her songs on a very short song list that seems to always play
Yes,
every time we
yes,
get in the
Nelly
car.
Furtado is fun. I mean, she's not the most famous one, but that's the one that comes to mind.
Okay. Um, And then, I mean, was she nice? Like, was there have you interviewed anybody that was
She
surprising?
was very nice. She was very nice. And talking to people in entertainment is that you cannot see. They are nicer than you think. Once that I mean, if you have a scheduled interview, the thing that they don't like is once that they are in their spare time and you're trying to interfere. And it's like something that you as a normal person wouldn't like it either. So
Sure.
I understand.
So you were never in someone's bushes, like waiting for them to come out of their
No,
house
I
and
did. I did that. I did that, and I didn't get like the best answers.
did you
But
really?
I do understand what is the difference.
Do you know what TMZ is? Have you heard of them?
Yes, I obviously I do
So
follow with that.
you were like a TMZ person for a little bit?
Well, I won't say that I was that hardcore, but yes, TMC kind of. Yes, I did
Okay.
something like that.
Okay. Wow. That's I couldn't see you doing that right now, but I don't know you well enough. So that could be part
Yes.
of the reason why.
We need to see a
Me
video.
either, me either, me either. I cannot
Yeah.
see myself doing that anymore.
We'll get a couple drinks at one of these conventions and I'm gonna have you like telling me all the
Maybe I can start like, hey, how are you doing tonight? How is this event going?
okay. So I like to end these. Well, I guess is there anything that you ladies just feel on your heart you want to share? I like to end these with giving you an opportunity to speak. Again, half the time I'm talking to a business owner about balloons and their company and all that, and we already have had some kind of topic that had, I don't know, I always get to find something I think is interesting. But I end it with a series of questions. So I want to give some time for that, and especially since there's two of you. And then if anybody has any questions or feedback, then we'll allow room for that as well. So are you ladies ready?
Yes, I think we are.
Okay.
I mean, is there any other option? No. So yes, we are.
Okay. Some of them are really easy, and then some of them I like to mix in some that make you think a little bit. But we'll just start with this one. Favorite color?
I will say Prosecco 85 from Gemar.
And I will say butter, that is 103.
Okay. Do you guys think in Gemar colors? Like, I find myself every now and then, if I'm describing a color to someone else, using colors of balloons that we keep in stock. Do you?
Yes, we think about those colors because I mean we see them every day, so it's part of
Yeah,
what we see. It's like our own Pantone. So
sure.
yes, we do think about colors in with numbers, and we do associate them.
Why did Jamar put numbers with their colors as part of the title? I don't think I've seen that in any other company.
I know that it's something very particular that we do because Gemma is Italian. Remember that, so we are
Okay.
different.
I imagine it makes identifying the color a bit easier if you have a specific number. So maybe.
Yes, definitely have something to do with that, but also because we are Italian and we always have a little bit of a different twist to things.
So you're saying Italians are a little extra? Um,
Yes, we are a little bit extra.
okay. Favorite food?
I would say pasta all the way. Pasta is always the best comfort food. Like I will eat pasta like with my eyes closed. Like I love pasta.
I would say that sushi is my comfort food, but I love all the seafood.
Okay. If you could live in one time period, past, present, future, when would that be?
I would say the present because there's nothing like the present. In the present, you can I mean, you can plan your future and do things about that and about your past. You can just revisit it, but I'll say present, whatever it is.
I'm with Karen. I think that the
Okay.
present is all that we have today and all that we have to work with for.
Okay, favorite movie or movie type if you don't have a specific one.
Okay, Along Came Polly, that's the one that I will say with Ben Stiller. I don't know if you remember that movie. I think that it was very fun. I love that movie. It's silly, but it was great.
For me, my favorite movie is Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan. I don't know the moms, the other characters, but it's with Lindsay Lohan.
That the one where they change like positions, like okay.
Yes, the
Yes,
switch, the yes,
the
the
bodies.
bodies.
I'm a little sad that I know that. Okay. Fa- favorite book.
Favorite?
Favorite
Book.
Can you repeat a book?
book? I would say 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
I will say four agreements. Agreements.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Four agreements.
For agreements.
Yes.
Okay.
In
I'm
Spanish
writing them
is
down.
cuatro acuerdos.
Okay,
I like to write books down, so because I like books. Um,
that's good. That's good.
what is your favorite? I really don't ever know how to describe like classification of balloon. I don't know how to describe like you know how some balloons have different finishes. You have your shiny ones and your like. What is your favorite type of balloon?
I would say shine. I like shine. Like as I say, I like the prosecco, for example.
Yeah, shiny are the shiny and the no shiny and metallic. That is like similar.
There's some pretty metallic colors out there. Um, I find that like
Yeah.
gold and silver just sits in my shop now. Nobody ever wants it anymore. It's like the
Oh,
favorite child
really?
that got one upped by another one because everybody wants the shiny balloon.
Okay.
So,
Everybody
um,
wants the shiny balloons.
yeah, what's the weirdest job that you've ever had? Like,
I work at Burger King once.
okay,
um, and me training kids for a soccer.
oh, like a soccer coach?
Yes. It no it it don't take too much technique. It was more about to get to have fun, to
Sure.
run,
Did you play soccer
the
in school?
energy. Yes.
Right on.
I still play soccer, but I don't play here in Miami. I don't have my people. But
Okay.
but yes,
Um,
I play.
if you could spend a day anywhere in the world, where would you spend it?
Santorini,
Maldivias.
All right. Where are
Absolutely.
those? What part of the world are those places?
Greece.
Ah,
And
Greece, Santorini is in
Maldivias.
Greece.
Maldivias is like near Australia. I don't know.
all right. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about geography. So I've been to Rhodes, Greece, and that was a pretty cool place.
East Asia. It's
Let's
in
see.
Asia.
Uh, if you could shadow anybody at their job for a day.
I will get one of the best actresses in Hollywood and I will shadow her during the day. For example, Meryl Streep. I would love to follow her during the day, like to see how her day looks like. I would love that. Really love that.
I will say that I love to know what the president does.
Okay. I've
One day in a
seen,
president life.
if you ever look at like before and after pictures of presidents after 4 years, they get a lot of gray hair. So I'm assuming their job is like super active.
Yes, something happened there.
I'm like, Obama was young and then he wasn't. And that's how it,
Yes,
um,
exactly. Something happened. Something.
yeah.
I don't know what, but something.
Um, favorite toy growing up?
Garbage package kid.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I still have one that is called Susanita, and I love her.
Okay, hold on. Did you
Did you
say,
hear about
okay,
it?
say that? There's two things that got mixed in my brain. There's something that used to be called Garbage Pal Kids and Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yes, no, the garbage package kid. Garbage packet.
Okay, when you said that, my brain just went to the nice Cabbage Patch dolls, but you said the Garbage Pal
Yeah,
Kids. Wow. Okay.
no, the garbage package.
Okay, I don't know what that is then.
Then the garbage package.
I'm gonna
Can
look it
you
up.
show
Garbage.
I mean, the garbage packet.
Garbage.
Garbage. The garbage.
let's look for a picture to show.
Okay, because I don't know what that
The
is.
one that used to come in a garbage.
The garbage?
I think we're talking about
Let's see
Cabbage
what
Patch Kids.
Karen talk about.
Garbage Pail
Development.
Kids had trading cards and they were always like really gross.
Okay, maybe she's talk about this. I don't know if you see.
I'm not.
Yes, those
Yeah,
were.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Okay, yes, those were the
Okay.
ones.
I would have never guessed.
I had one like that, and I used to love her.
Okay. How about you, Daniel?
For me, the Tamagotchi connection.
I don't know what that is either.
You play with that? No?
No, I haven't.
It was
Come on, come on.
it was like a virtual pet.
Like a what?
Like a virtual pet. You have to
Oh, virtual pet. Okay.
give it food, to give it drink, and something like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got
but
you.
now you tell us, what is your favorite toy when you growing up?
I
We
was a
wanna know.
GI Joe kid. I had all the He-Man dolls, like the little He-Man guys, and then I had the
Okay,
GI Joes. And I really like Transformers, but
okay.
I lived next door to a kid who had all the Transformers. So like he kept adding to his collection, I added to mine, and then we got to play with each other's stuff.
Okay,
So,
that's good. That's good.
okay.
That was a good answer.
Yeah.
Next.
What did you want to be when you grew up? I know, Daniela, you said a singer. Was there anything else?
I wanted to be a writer. I still want to be a writer. Maybe
Okay.
one day.
What kind of book would you write?
It would be fiction. Definitely fiction.
Okay. What kind of I mean that's a big open, you're basically just saying something not real.
I know so, but I like young adults kind of young fiction.
Okay. I'm a big fan of like fantasy books and all that, so I like
Okay.
dragons and wizards and stuff, so I could think of that.
Okay.
Game of
Okay.
Thrones.
Game of
Um
Thrones fan for sure.
yes. What would be, if do you listen to podcasts? What's your favorite podcast or one that you think would be great to share?
I don't really listen to podcasts. I have to be very honest. I don't.
I don't really too much, but I have one that is in Spanish. It's called Viene y Va by Danny Schultz. It's a really introspective podcast that makes you think and connect with yourself and something like that.
Okay. Cool, cool. That's good. Favorite kind of music?
I like a little bit of everything, but I'll say the Beatles and Maroon 5.
Oh,
I'm basic here because I like electronic and reggaeton.
really?
So we are like eclectic kind of
No, I
people.
dig
Yes.
electronic music is probably my favorite genre. Um, let's see.
Cool.
Do you have any bucket list items?
To win the Nobel Prize.
Oh, okay.
The bucket list.
Bucket list. Go with all my family to somewhere in Italy.
Okay. So have you not visited Italy since you've had this job? Have they not brought you over there for?
Yeah, no, I don't.
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
it
Me
sounds
either.
like
We're gonna
they owe
make the
you a
request
trip.
officially today.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You guys need to see the
Yes,
place
we're
and
gonna
then
make
take
the
your family.
official request today.
Okay,
Yes.
That's a great
if
idea.
you had a spirit animal, what would it be?
I think I'll be a koala. I love the koalas. Like I love them so much. I think they are so cute.
Flamingo,
Like I
flamingo.
cannot express it in any other way. Like I love them. I really love them. I love that they have a K like my name. And yes, koalas are cute. I love koalas. I think that I'll be a koala.
And for me, I think that flamingo or dolphins, because I like the water, but I think that flamingos are in the air too. So they're
I think those are two
both of the
animals.
best.
Right on. I don't think we've had either of those, flamingos or koalas, yet. So it's weird because we've done this for probably 15, 16 months where I've interviewed somebody, and I don't think anybody
Okay.
has had the same animal as another person yet, which is kind of crazy.
So well,
Um,
we're different. We're
I
different.
guess, yeah. If you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Drink more water.
Think harder?
Drink more water.
Oh,
More
drink more
water.
water.
Water. Water.
Okay, that's
Yes,
not even the
definitely.
same as think harder.
No.
I was wondering what kind of
And me,
story would be
invest.
involved for you to have gone back and say you just need to think more because I haven't been doing that very well.
No, no, it wasn't think more. It was just drink more water in
Drink more
general.
water. Okay.
I think that
Yeah,
would be better for everybody.
sure.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Danielle, sorry.
Me, invest in crypto.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be a good one.
And don't care
Okay.
about what the people say.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one too. Um, if you could rule the world, and this is a make-believe question, but you could make one thing different. You could make a rule that would work and everybody would have to do it or whatever. If you could make one change in the world and it happened, what would that change be?
I will end hunger.
Okay.
The system with when the girls have were abuse,
Okay. So you would you would just make it where that never happens.
change that
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can get behind that one. There's a few things like I know there's a lot of bad stuff that happens in the world and um but there are some things that happen that make me want to like get up and punch somebody. I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but that is one of them. When people take
Yes,
advantage of women, children, the elderly, I just can't I can't get behind that.
Absolutely.
Um,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could know the day that you're gonna die, would you want to know? And then why or why not?
I don't think I want to know. I try to live my life every day. So if I'm gonna die today and I don't know, I try to get the most that I can from this day today. So that'll be it for me.
Yeah, me neither. If I
Okay.
know that I'm gonna die in 4 years, I'm be anxious since today.
Oh,
So I really don't want to know.
okay. Last question. And I used to ask a Harry Potter question, but one very sad thing about the balloon community is less than 50% of the people know anything about Harry Potter. And that makes me sad in my heart. So I'm changing the question.
Yes.
And it is, if you were a Care Bear, what would be on your tummy?
I'll say a clover. I'll
Oh,
be
okay.
good luck bear.
Hmm.
The rainbow.
The rainbow?
Rainbow.
Oh, the rainbow one. The pink. There's pink.
Okay. No, you get to make up your own symbol. You don't have to pick a Care Bear. Like you could be a taco.
Oh,
It could be
yeah.
whatever you want it to be. A bowl of pasta. Like it's the question is if you were a Care Bear and you could make up your own little cutie mark on your belly, what would that be?
Maybe I'll
Whatever you want.
um I don't know.
No,
Say
no,
first.
no, está bien lo del arcoíris, está bonito. You can stay with that.
Well, the rainbow.
Okay. I like rainbows.
Or
I like
something
all the
with a heart and light, energy and love.
okay.
Something like that.
All right. Well, um, thank you ladies for giving me your time. I know it might have been weird and that's part of it. It's fun. I am gonna stop the Zoom and then if anybody has any questions, they'll be able to ask them. And then we'll talk a little bit about what's happening with the Balloon Guild and see if anybody has any questions about that. But when we do that, you ladies don't have to stay on because I want to respect your time and I try to get these done in an hour. So thank you
Excellent.
ladies for being here. I appreciate you and
Excellent. Thank you so much.
thank you for being one of our guest designers.
Thank you to you. That
Thank
was
you.
really cool.